what is going on in my region is worrisome. If I regard myself as a state man. So I thought I should come out to say something that if we are not careful, the whole economy will collapse. Bunkering or oil stealing is part of Nigerian corruption, which has infested almost everybody. And we cannot continue unless something is done. Previously, the government officials, the NNPC officials, they all believe that the stealing of the crude oil, which was brought to the notice of Nigerians by the managing director of NNPC Limited, is worrisome to everybody. So, my appeal to the federal government, therefore, is that a judicial inquiry should be set up to investigate the activities of the bunkers or those who are stealing the oil, yet they are investigating who stole it. Until this Tompolo was employed, his company was employed to do the job he is now doing. Within a short time, he has now discovered that a 4-kilometer pipeline into the sea has been discovered. And I think very soon he will discover more. I commend him for a job well done. And I believe that very soon the stealing of oil will be reduced. I also want to say that it's not true that oil stealing, crude oil stealing has just started. That is not true. These had started since about 50 years ago. I remember in 1972, as Commissioner for Finance in Midwest State, I accompanied Alhaji Shehu Shagari, who was then Federal Minister of Finance, to Focado's terminal. What did we see? We saw the official fiddling and we asked, is there no way of checking the oil that we were exporting? And no one gave us satisfactory answers. And when we came back, this matter was taken up. But nobody followed later. Again, let me tell you where I was involved again. During the fratricidal war in Warri, between the Chekiri, the Jaws of Warri, and the robots of Warri, the president of Nigeria at that time, President Olusegun Obasanjo, invited us, he has invited us to Abuja to find a way of resolving the matter. And we all attended meeting. And the issue of oil stealing was one of the matters discussed. What happened? I stood up and I accused the military, all the security forces, of being part of those who steal the crude oil. And the person asked me, can you prove it? I said, yes. So he set up General Danjuman's committee, who was the Minister of Defense at the time. All the officials were present. And one of the members of the committee was was the Obiafo one. It said the second. And General Danjuma, as a leader, went to the Niger Delta and investigated my allegation. His report is in the presidency. They should look for it. To say again that oil bunkering has been on for years outside the issue of the African pride, which happened in 2003 during the Obasanjo time, where it was discovered that the Navy was fully involved. An inquiry was set up by the Navy, and 3 admirals were tried. Bob Manuel was one of them. He was the only one freed. The other 2, what are their name? I can't remember their name. No. They were freed. But the evidence given during the investigation or during the inquiry showed that it went beyond one officer, one cadre. It passed from one cadre to another. A situation whereby, you see from the report, the sum of 250,000 naira were given to 2 officers. Those officers were some senior officers. Shows clearly that the Navy or the Army is not the only one, but the government officials, the NSPC official, should be investigated. Today, people now build houses in Abuja, ride big cars, fly, private jets, and you ask, what is the occupation of these people? Nobody knows. And nobody will ask. Some of these people in the morning go to church for blessing. And they are always in the front seat of the church. What type of country are we building? I have also mentioned in the paper the reason why the Niger Delta youths are engaged in oil bunkering. I am not defending them, but at the same time, they are doing it for survival. I remember I gave a lecture in Lagos one day, and I said, our youth from the Niger Delta who are posted to the north, to the south, east, and to the southwest, return home at the end of the year without a job in those states. But their counterparts from the north, from the west, from the southeast, opposite our area, are employed in the oil industry because the managers, the senior managers, and the managing directors in the NNPC are their brothers. And the ethnicity is one. This ethnicity is one of the things what killing Nigeria. So our boys they come home, nothing to do. I remember in 1986, I'm still very vivid. I was in my house when the security forces came to me that our boys were fighting. I should follow them to help them to stop the fight because I'm their leader. I went to the airstrip, which was at the airport road in Warri, not the present airport. I discovered that when I got there, 2 boys were already dead. And what was happening? They told me that the boys now complained that they were informed that youths from other areas other than the Niger Delta were being employed by the companies, oil companies, to be employed as divers and swimmers, to be trained when they get. And they said, as riverine people, they are natural swimmers, natural divers. Why were they not being employed? That's what they fight. I have to see that these bodies, the 2 bodies, were taken to their parents to be buried. That is the problem. You cannot be in your home and not benefit from what is being done, what is coming out of your home. I think this is the main problem. And it cannot continue. A situation whereby if you are allowed to, nobody bothers you when you are digging for gold in Zafara. Nobody bothers you when you are digging gold in Osun State and so on. But the situation whereby young men are being killed or being accused and detained, it's not good enough. So this is the problem. And now, again, I'm saying that the federal government should appoint a judicial commission of inquiry to look into this issue of crude oil stealing in the Niger Delta. There should be no sacred cows. Everybody who is involved in the oil industry should be invited if there's evidence. So once again, I thank you all.